You said that you were in this film as a character, an actor, and a fanboy. What did you mean?
Well, meaning that was three things I had to juggle on a daily basis. So, as an actor, meaning understanding my own craft and how to approach a role. As a role, meaning who is Charlie Holloway, and what does he need from me. And the hardest, being a fan and being able to shut my eyes to the world that was around me and focus on Charlie. And luckily it feeds nicely a sense of awe for this particular movie, because I think everyone at one point or another is in a sense of awe, and on those sets you couldn't help yourself. So.
And when you're, even now, when you're doing interviews, sitting in this thing, do you sort of pinch yourself and say, "Oh my God, am I really part of a film that is as anticipated as this?" Is that also a little frightening?
No, because it's somewhat familiar. We spent a lot of time in these rovers. It's just great to see everybody again. I was just saying in the last interview, I was just saying that reminiscing about the making of this movie just reminded me how big that was. And it will always be bigger than whatever this movie becomes. The doing of was just so immensely satisfying. So whatever this thing is gravy, and yeah.
What is Ridley Scott's greatest strength as a director?
I'd say his ability to work in grand gestures, frames, pictures, and then approach an actor in an intimate level,
So he can combine the two things.
Yeah, I mean, he works on 10 different levels at once. And
You described him
level.
as an octopus.
Yeah, he's an octopus. He has 8 arms that are always working, and each one is delicate or strong. He has all the strengths and sense of touch and line, because he is an artist. So that's, I'd say, his greatest assets.
And he's supposed to be pretty tough on sets, is he?
Not with us. He's a kind of a kid. He gets what he wants because he knows what he wants, and I think he surrounds himself with A-plus people. So but everybody on that set, top to bottom, wanted to make the same movie. So maybe on other sets, but not on Prometheus. We all knew that every day was a dream.
You do film, television, and you're very passionate about theater. Is there one particular medium that you prefer? I know you've said that I'd rather be poor and do theater than be rich and not do theater. So is that really your favorite mode of expression?
Yeah, I think live performance is what I'm drawn to most. I love film, I love TV, but I grew up in a theater family, and I grew up watching great musicians on stage have stage presence, and it was actually Angelo Moore from Fishbone and Mike Patton who made me want to act and perform live. So I would say, if I had the choice, I'd want to manipulate a live audience if I had the choice. But I love all mediums of expression of character. So.
And is it a different muscle that you use for each one?
Well, you're acting from head to toe on stage, and you're hitting a back row, and so you're telling a different story in that way. Whereas here, you're isolating a bit more, and I think there needs to be an understanding of more of a nuanced approach. And also, you're not getting, there's no relationship to an audience on a night-to-night basis. And certainly it's a medium that's different for an actor, Theater is an actor and a playwright's medium. Film is a director's, and TV is a producer and writer's, I'd say. And
what was the hardest thing about Prometheus for you?
The wind. Yeah, the wind and dust and debris, I'd say, in those spacesuits. That was pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal.
Why the spacesuits?
Well,
Are they heavy?
They are heavy. Yeah, they were. They were spacesuits, and they were incredible. Janty's spacesuits, they were just tremendous. But, we were still teething, and when we did the windy storm, and so we got to understand where the cracks were very quickly. But I think it was great because it allowed us to really lock them down for the rest of the shoot. But that first couple weeks in the storm was it was trying. Yeah.
And summer blockbusters that have aliens in them usually don't ask questions about the origins of humanity and gods. Did you ever, when you were making this film, sort of have a moment when you're like, this is too much, maybe we've taken on too much? Or did it all just hang together?
No, I don't think we ever felt overwhelmed by the question we were posing.
It's a big one.
It's a big one for sure, and I think we approached it though on a word by word, scene by scene basis, and didn't think about what it meant in the grand scheme of things, but you know what the scene needed at every time, and made it real on a human level. That was, I think, the most important thing.
And when you saw the film, were you satisfied with it? Is there anything you wish you had done differently?
Interesting. No, I think I was so satisfied by watching it and seeing all the other layers that are put on it, and you know, I'm a very tough critic on my stuff, so there's always something else I wish I could do. That's one of the reasons I also love theaters. You get another night, whereas you would think
This is final.
Yeah, once you're done with the day, you can't go back. You don't get another take. So, you know, there's always something else you could have done.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Pleasure.